G'day, welcome to session 24 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. Thank you for the comments on the previous one. There's definitely a lot I have to address here. I've definitely taken notes again here. Now, the most important thing that was pointed out, and there, thank you very much for making note of this, is that I have no algae whatsoever at the moment. So my oxygen generation is way down. So we certainly need to address that first up. Now, the most algae that I have sitting anywhere is right here. So that is what we're going to get onto. Or anything else, let's just dig that out and then dig everything out here. Is that algae there too? Yeah, let's take that. And there's a big pocket polluted oxygen, but we can take all of that algae. Algae, I keep saying algae. Algae? Algae. Depends on where you're from, I think. Okay, so that is our first priority. The other major thing, so that was one of the two things I wrote in capital letters in my notes. The other one was, let's not break through into space. That was the other very good suggestion. Now, wholesome me, I took it as, you know what? Space is a, look at that, space, that's cool. You can see space until someone pointed out to me that there's a vacuum of space, then that will kill me. So let's not burst through into the vacuum of space. Stay nice and comfortable down here, and I will deconstruct all of those ones to try and help me remember that, because I'm certain at some point I'll just forget and then I'll wander up there and kill myself. Okay, so the other thing that we want to do is someone suggested, I really liked this suggestion, was what I should do is make a small holding pit for polluted water inside my base that I can then have a pump that runs to this container. So what I could possibly do with that is build, say, a wall here. So we will get this built up before we unpause as well. So what I think I'll do is I'll build a square there, and then build a wall there, and then we'll dig a hole out here. We'll deconstruct that one. Actually, I need 3 across the bottom, I think. So what we'll do is we'll also put a build a tile there, and then we'll get rid of that one once that one's been built. And what we'll do is we will put a ladder down here too, and then we'll put a pump at the bottom that can sort of pump. Now, I think that what I'd like to do for this is, I think this would value from automation, and it's similar to what this guy here would do. I obviously don't want the pump just constantly running, but I feel like, is there a way that I can set up an automation that's sort of a signal that can sense if it's submerged? A timer sensor could possibly work too. Liquid element sensor sends a green signal when the selected liquid is detected on the sensor's tile. Beautiful. So what I could do is set up a pump here, and then put a sensor above it so that if the pump's completely underwater and that sensor gets hit, then it will send the go-ahead to so you activate that pump. Otherwise the pump's not just going to be sitting there going the whole time. With this guy, I'm just basically waiting. I'll manually turn him on when it comes to that. You can see that our algae is coming along nicely. We will build a ladder straight up here. Try and get to this. I can see that they've gone into the water to cut through the bottom of that. It's a very creative way of doing that. Okay, so now we can deconstruct building only, that one. Now, let me just pause again, because that obviously isn't the... No, sorry, I've cancelled. Deconstructed the wrong one. I want to deconstruct that one only. Okay. Now, what was the other things that were suggested? Airflow tiles for the generators. I quite like that too. That what I should have is just below these guys, just to allow that the sort of oxygen from them to move a bit. Sort of, sorry, not the oxygen. The what are you looking at? There's a lot of oxygen in there, though. By the way, let me check that out. Alright, so we want to move double time on this. Let's go address where we have our huge amounts of carbon dioxide here. Now, it's probably worth mentioning, I guess, just so that I can actually get this going again. So we've got this gas pipe here. And what we need to do is get him up and connected there. So what's our best way to move up that way without touching this one? We could probably work our way through some of these. Suppose if we go... Nope. Just work our way alongside the ladder, I suppose. Gas bridge. Just make sure I'm getting this the right way. So it is... white is my... White's my input, green's my output. Right. Certainly the one thing I'm never going to remember. Go to there. Gas filter, gas bridge. White's my... Wait, that's sort of suggesting that white's my output. It's an input to that. So that's input to it, it's putting it out there. Yeah, I think that's right. Gas pipe from there to there, and then we can deconstruct those gas pipes. Got some quick tons of our algae. Alright, now let me just make sure I've gotten everything else. It's coal storage. Yeah, someone suggested that what I do is I build some coal storage containers near the generators so they don't have to travel as far for them. I quite like that as well. So let's just dig out this area here. Look at putting some coal storage in there. And then the other two suggestions were related to critters. So someone was suggesting that I go for the glossy Drecos that are nearby to shave them for plastics. I'll have to work out what those look like and where they are. Is that this guy? Yep. And the other one was suggesting that I ranch hatches for the coal. Now that's the hatch there. I've obviously got a lot of those wandering around my base, so that probably is something that I should address. It's probably a little bit easier than the Dracos. There's a lot of water floating around up here. Won't do anything with it just yet. I guess we can now wander our way across here to get to that door, as opposed to going across the top. Okay, so we can see that we've got this room a little bit on its way now. We'll grab a liquid pump and we will copy it, chuck it there. We will then add some plumbing to it. Liquid pipe that can go... I've destroyed that there. Do is we can then move that across, go up to there, so that it can also pump out to just that same point. We then want to... Well, we're going to have assume electricity will connect into that too. It'll be a nice easy connection for that one. And then let's have a look to see if we can... Great, we can automate that. So we will put just a short automation wire just above it, and we will say... liquid element sensor there. Just wait for that to get built. Whereas actually I can't place that there, so what we'll have to do is we'll copy him put him on that side. Actually, no. I'll cancel that. Just maybe we'll just put the bottle thing there. We'll deconstruct that tile. Copy this guy and put him there. Okay, so now what we want is some storage bins. I'll just copy those and we'll go 1, 2, 3. And we will enable him. Now I realize that at the moment his piping isn't finished, but I think that that won't just cause it to pipe out at the end of the build. It will just do it. It just will stop stuck in the pipe. So we just check out what that ventilation's doing. See, that's slowly pumping through. And hopefully someone can address that quicker than this gets to the top. We'll just double check what happens. Luckily, I think it will just stop. Nope, have I got that around the wrong way? I don't know why I've struggled so much with making sure I'm understanding what's in and out on these. Let me double check this if I've got that right, because it looked like something stopped. Gas pipe here. Okay, jumps over, so white is in, green is out. White is in, green is out. That's right then, isn't it? Let's just quickly up the priority of these two. A lot of things in that one square. Gas bridge. Let's just up the priority of the two of them just to try and get them sorted. A lot of algae down there now, which is good. Okay, so for these guys, we only want coal. And we will copy the settings of that for those two. And then we will up the priority of those. Yes, I think that just means that they're prioritized to take the coal. Check how that ventilation's going. So it's all stopped there. Come out, go in. I'm certain I've got that right. I don't quite know why it stopped there then. There we go, good. I'm not crazy. Cool. Now, so hopefully that saves these guys from... Now, potentially what I would want to do is have this turn on and off to an automated system that runs based on a sensor that's up here somewhere. Because I don't want that having to, like, I don't quite know what would happen if that pushes constantly unbreathable air into here when these guys are also trying to push air into the same spot. I don't know. Okay. So the liquid is... polluted water. So I think that should work. I mean, it's going to be a long time till we find out. Then this guy, we can say copy settings onto him, and then we can say deconstruct him. I don't think anyone needs to go out to put anything in him anymore. We are still digging away south. That was mentioned as well with my dig south. That if I do get close to oil, I do need the full suits with the oil as opposed to just the oxygen masks. Let's just make sure I'm covering everything here. So firstly, algae. We've gotten a healthy amount of algae there. We obviously do want to work to get a little bit more. There's a ton here too that we could probably just dig up. But we probably do need to address, I guess, our future plans of what we're going to do with algae. Now it's breathable in there. And so is that. So, I mean, we can really just dig out this whole square. Just take out just the top of that for now. That's definitely looking a lot more carbon dioxide-y. Yeah, alright. Small holding pit for the polluted water, we've finished that. So that's one of our goals done. We avoided space, we got the algae, glossy Drecos and the ranching the hatches we have to do. The airflow tiles, that's all sorted. The coal storage near the generators. Alright, cool. So, almost everything is done from the suggestions. Just the hatches. Now, okay. The other thing that was suggested was the pole that runs down here. So it's been mentioned again a second time that we should have a fire pole that runs alongside this ladder. Now, I do think that I should look into it. The problem is that I've got to somehow make the space for it. So it means that I've got to either... That decreased medicine's not great. Just take that. We have to either knock out everything on this side, which probably looks a bit more manageable, with the exception of his bedroom. But what we could do, I mean, Stinky's bedroom is a bedroom, but it doesn't actually have to be a room. I mean, the problem that Stinky has is he snores, and we've just sort of isolated him out, but he doesn't have to have a door. So we can knock that out without issue. We can relocate that to the other side of this ladder. We can relocate that sort of probably just up one over here. Get rid of that. We just have to knock out the first two of these two. And we'd have to push that in one. So we probably have to push these in two. Okay. Let's start looking at this. So the first thing that we want to do is change these tiles to... We've just got to uproot and then deconstruct. Uproot and then deconstruct. Now, is there any actual benefit to these having a door? Possibly a good question. Is it hotter out here? It's not. I mean, they're not actually considered a room anyway, so I don't need to give them a door. So we don't need to get rid of another one. We can just sort of put those plain tiles in, deconstruct the two doors. Now what we'll do is we'll deconstruct that. Deconstruct the door and the walls. This guy as well. And we can dig out all of this. Actually, I wonder if with the pole you actually need levels that hits on. We'll see. Okay. Did I just do something over there? No, good. Alright, so then what we'll do is we will build our wall back here. Extra step. And we will start our fire pole in. So I guess what we have to have levels at which it stops. So cancel there. So I guess that would mean that you just go from the top to the bottom if you're using that fire pole, I assume. Struck that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. And that guy. It depends on how far south then they really need to go. Because would it just be there that we're best off sending them to? Suppose I do wander all the way down. Maybe we'll stop it there, allow Stinky to keep his Stinky keep his bedroom. That's definitely a lot quicker. Now, I didn't actually check to see if they can swing down that and then hop off anywhere else, or if they just can only swing to the bottom. I think they've got the luxury of sort of dropping off that pole wherever they want. Keep an eye out, see if I can get someone who drops but doesn't go all the way to the bottom. At the moment, that's where they're going. Okay, let's have a look up here. Whoop. Why are they starving? Why is she starving? Isn't there more than enough food to... let's have a look at the schedule. She's in downtime right now, right? So should she be eating? She is. Okay, good. Cool. I can see that they do drop off and go to wherever they need to be. So, great. So that pole will be ideal if we can get it to go all the way down. I do feel bad for Pinky though. We don't want to displace him. But his room's so small we don't have too much option. It'd be a shame to get rid of his genius sculpture that operates in there. So, let's copy that guy and put him... There's one there. Let's put him... one down there too, so we'll just put him in there. And also copy that guy and put him there. It's funny, it's going to take days and days before anything ever reaches this sensor. But I excitedly look forward to seeing it happen, because I think the majority of my my polluted water comes through the liquid vent anyway. Okay, so we can deconstruct the top of this ladder to begin with. Now, I suppose the question would be, I need to start to look into what alternatives do I have to algae to make my oxygen? Be a good question to start to consider. Okay, now let's deconstruct buildings only of 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can copy that. I hope that increases their enjoyment as well, because it certainly seemed like a lot of fun. A lot of polluted oxygen down there, so I'm glad that they're wear masks in this area. Let me have a look at I think if I can find the other sort of stations that would be. There's a shearing station. Obviously, want to start to look at Adam's suit checkpoint. Atmos suits. Atmos suit dock. Jet suit. So I guess I need. I mean, I would assume that a jet suit is more used for space, and an Atmos suit is more used for oxygen, for say oils and things. Telescope. And the other thing that I do want to do is finish off the research chart. I can't even click on it when I don't have my research station. I know I've only got the one thing to go, but I think it required something more than just the two basic stations that I had. I need to look into finishing that, even though can't imagine I'll even get to space exploration by the time crash and burn here. Still slowly working their way down here. It's a long commute. Okay, so let's look for one of the Dracos that's wandering about. Let's see if we can get a better understanding of what I need to build. There's one of them. People are really cutting it fine with their Let's eat a bit more, mate. In what you'd call literally tons of food. Okay. So, like what we were looking at. Sorry, where was he? There's one down there. So there are a few of them around. So at least 3 of them I can see. 1, 2, 3. So I mean, they're at least surviving just on. That's another one we've got going on. Information. That's what we want. Oh. Diet, sand, sandstone, clay, crushed rock, dirt, sedimentary rock, nutrient bar, mush bar, meal ice, so a little bit of everything. Okay, I guess that's the full list. See, in the comments someone suggested polluted dirt. A good thing to give them. A lot of sand per cycle. The idea would give them sushi. Okay, so we need to have them. They excrete coal as waste and maybe uncovered by digging up. That's fine. Do we have any other requirements for them? Captured method wrangling, perhaps. Okay, so I can trap them. Just put them in somewhere. So. Temperature up here is quite warm. I don't know if they care about the heat, but the ones that are about seem to be sort of lower in my base. They'll seem to be down in this area where it's around 25. So let's trust our own judgment there. And say we want to set up our hatchery here. Also a good 2 birds with 1 stone that we can get this algae out of here. So let's deconstruct this wall. And then let's dig. Actually, we won't dig that yet. We'll let them do it where they can reach the roof. Everyone's, mustn't have much work on at the moment. What we'll also do then is we'll dig just a route up for them so that they can. What are we doing? Cancel. Well, giving up those ones just yet, but it's okay. Right. Okay, we'll continue to dig up and across. Get all this. Probably dig just under you two to allow you to get out, and that's also copper ore, so we'll claim that too. Now let's just have a quick look. How much sand do I have? 110 tons. 5 tons of polluted dirt. Okay, so oh, so what we will now do is we will just build this all the way along. And we'll build a wall at the end. And we will dig out just those ones there too, just to allow them to wander underneath here if they want to do all of that. Probably should build a second bathroom as well, because I realize I've got way more people than bathrooms. Okay. Not too bad, but I don't think that we're going to jump on anyone we don't necessarily need. Okay. So, what will we need in this room? The question will be, how do we feed them? Now, I know that previously I did have a feeding feeding device. Where was that? Can't remember where that's at. I guess that's a question though for next time. This will be our last night of this one. So, I think I asked a few questions through there. But I guess the one that I'm currently working on for my next move will be, what is the ideal way for both ranching hatches and the best way about going about getting the glossy Dracos, and where I should put them, and whether it's a similar sort of looking room, and how damaging will it be to have this chlorine come into my base? Like, should I go and dig across here so it's actually outside? That's probably the way to go. But cool, that'll be a question for next time. But till then, we'll see May enjoying the beam there, and I'll catch you later. See ya.